Good evening. I'd like to call to order the 2025 annual meeting of the American Finance Association. My name is Kathleen Weiss Hanley, and I'm the Executive Secretary and Treasurer of the AFA. For the past fiscal year, which ended in June 2024, we had operating revenues of $1.6 million and expenses of $2.3 million, resulting in a deficit of $700,000. In order to manage this deficit, which I expect to continue into the near future, we've been treating our investment portfolio as an endowment. Year over year, our portfolio had a 14% return and is now standing at $28 million. This year, the board adopted an investment policy that set forth, among other things, our preferred asset allocation. Because of the rise in the stock market, we are currently rebalancing the portfolio to meet those objectives. In addition, we've put into place a bond ladder that will help us meet our ongoing expenses for the next few years. I would like to thank the investment committee, Wei Jiang, and Stan van Nieuwerburg for all of their wonderful help and guidance over the past year. In terms of membership, we've seen a slight drop in the number of members from 10,000 to 9,600. While our general membership has held steady, we have seen a small decline in the number of student members, a fact that we're going to be watching very closely, as we believe it's very important that students come into the AFA very early in their career. The next meeting for 2026 will be in Philadelphia, and then in Washington, D.C., followed by Atlanta. It is now my pleasure to introduce the AFA President, Monika Piazzesi. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, for being here. It's my great pleasure to congratulate the election winners of this year, the new Vice President, Sidney Ludwigsen, and the incoming directors, Rina Agarwal, Nikolai Garliano, and Kelly Shu. I want to thank all the candidates who put their names up for election, and also the nominating committee. I want to also thank the outgoing board members, Kimi Kuhnen, Michelle Lowry, and Stan van Nieuwerburg. A big thanks to the Executive Secretary, Treasurer Kathleen Hanley, without whom this organization would not run, and the same is true for Annette Clark, who secretly runs the AFA. So thanks so much. I thank the program chair, Ulrike Malmendier, for putting together a terrific program this year, and thank all the AFA committees for their great work this year. I also want to remind you that we have an ombudsperson that can help you with concerns that you may have in your department. This ombudsperson can keep more confidentiality than sometimes even your colleagues. The information on how to contact the ombudsperson is on the AFA website. And then it's my great pleasure to introduce the president-elect and the program chair, Ulrike Malmendier.
Thank you so much, Monika. I am very happy to report that the annual meeting of the AFA is doing great. I was thrilled to receive submissions that were 10% up from last year. We are almost at 2,000 now. I think Wei will be seeing that number crossed next year, I hope. The flip side is, of course, that the acceptance rate goes down. So we had to go from 13% to 11%, but are happy to also accommodate lots of students in the poster session Wei will briefly mention after me. I want to emphasize again that with this year's meetings, we are at the third in-person meeting after we went virtual in 2021 and 2022. As you all know, with the move to online first-round interviews, candidates have gone down. They're about registrations have gone down. They're at about half the level from pre-pandemic, but they've stayed stable since then. And what makes our colleagues at the AEA very jealous is that participation in the sessions is very robust and stable, has not gone down. I very much hope it will stay that way. And if you guys have ideas how to make the meetings more engaging, please let us know. We are extremely happy that this in-person interaction continues to function. Now, this session and this conference couldn't work if we didn't have 72 session chairs whose hard work made it possible to organize 65 regular paper sessions, 5 panel sessions. There was an AFA lecture and the AFA, of course, PhD student poster session I mentioned already. Please, if you couldn't attend all the panels, they will be posted online, the videos. I think there were some really interesting debates and good attendance about very forward-looking topics, such as generative AI in finance, chaired by Anastasia Fedig, geopolitical fragmentation by Yuri Gorodnichenko, polarization in finance, chaired by Elizabeth Kempf, and I was chairing a session on behavioral finance 3.0, as well as doing research with an impact, and also really enjoyed the AFA lecture Nick Barberis gave this year about behavioral finance at 40, progress, open questions, and new directions. If you didn't attend, I hope you will check all of that out online. In general, we are always want to innovate. Partly you're quote-unquote forcing us to innovate. When this year, I get my 65 submission categories and fields in which I'm supposed to sort the conference, and then I see, whoa, this year it's not just ESG that went through the roof, but there's all of a sudden AI, machine learning, and we have to come up with new categories. So it's wonderful to see you vote, not with your feet, but with your submissions. Please keep doing that. We also are very proud that we continue to foster mentoring. In addition to these strong panels we had also for the students, we are excited that we will be expanding on the fantastic work AFFECT has been doing in mentoring and hoping to reach more junior members of all genders, races, geographic areas, and type of research institutions in enlarging our mentoring program on day 0. So wait for news coming there. And again, if you have new ideas, I just participated at lunch in this networking, mentoring lunch the AEA organized, where they initially asked maybe for 2 finance people to join and host some tables. Then they asked for 4, then 8, then 16, as you see where this is going. So I was very glad to see finance there represented, but whatever other ideas you might have, what makes in-person participation most valuable, please do let us know. Before I hand it over to Wei, I just wanted to emphasize again, Monika said it already, that I'm personally, as the president-elect being responsible for this year's program, particularly deeply indebted to Annette Clark, with whom this program wouldn't exist, whose formal job description is probably to put together data for me in Excel sheets and help me with text and so on. And the informal job reality is also a lot of hand-holding and encouraging Ulrike that she can do it and reminding her. So let's maybe give a round of applause to Annette Clark. All right, and with that, I hand it over to Vice President Wei.
Good evening. Compared to Ulrike, I had a very light task, which was to organize the PhD poster session, as well as a panel for mentoring for PhD students, as well as early career assistant professors. So first, let me give you the summary numbers. So this year we had 127 posters in the room next door. They are still on. If you have time afterwards, there's still time to take a tour. There was about 20% increase in the submission from last year, but we maintained the same acceptance rate, which is 23%. And a team of 10 assistant professors who are in the first 3 years of their career, meaning they understand the PhD research work and the process, helped me to select those 127 posters. So a lot of thanks to them. And this year, Annette and Kathleen had this creative idea about putting coffee and refreshment in the same room as the posters. And that seems to work well of drawing a lot more traffic. So remember, there is still coffee and refreshment as well at the posters, so take some time to give yourself a tour. So I personally certainly find the task to be extremely refreshing and fulfilling because these people are not just the next generation scholars, but the questions that interest them also represent the next frontiers of this profession. So I would like to give a heartfelt congratulations for those people who made the posters and encourage everyone to take a tour and give them feedback. And if you have any ideas about how to improve the process to have a greater mentoring contribution to the profession and make it more useful to the PhD students and beyond, please just let me know. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm Antoinette Schoar. I'm the executive editor of the Journal of Finance, and I want to take the opportunity to give you a bit of an update on the state of the journal, and then obviously, maybe the most exciting part, award the Brattle and DFA prizes for the best papers in the JF. Let me first, one big update is that the board approved or appointed the current editorial team for a second term starting in July 2025. And the continuing as editors will be Leonid Kogan, John Llewellyn, Thomas Philippon, and myself. Urban German has unfortunately decided to step down in July 2025. He's done a lot of editorial work before, but I'm delighted. I don't know, this thing is not updating correctly. Okay, I'm delighted that we have a fantastic new co-editor, Adi Sundaram from HBS, who is the Willard Prescott Smith Professor of Corporate Finance at HBS. He will deepen our footprint, in particular in corporate finance, financial intermediation, asset pricing, and behavioral finance. So thank you very much, Adi. I think Adi is in the room somewhere. Thank you very much for joining us. All right. Yes, indeed. Great, now we did it. Excellent. So I have a second update for this year. We are inaugurating a new prize for the JF. This is a prize for junior researchers to encourage junior research in general and to give more prominence to juniors. And we are inaugurating this prize in honor of Rick Green, who is a past editor of the JF, who was a big champion of students and junior faculty. And I think a lot of people in this room have experienced him as, as important for their careers, and who unfortunately passed away too early. This award will be, this prize will be awarded annually. It will be eligible for papers where all authors are less than 7 years after their PhD. The prize money will be $5,000. There will be no runner-up, given that we want to give the oomph to the paper that wins. Of course, junior faculty papers are also eligible, of course, right, to the other two prizes, but this is to to give additional, recognition to junior faculty. We raised, I'm very grateful and happy that we raised more than $75,000 in individual donations and pledges to support this prize. So this will be basically self-financed. And the first prize, the inaugural one, will be next year. So thank you to everyone who has donated and participated in this. All right, Now I have one more set of updates from initiatives that we started last year. As I think a lot of you know, we implemented a data and code sharing process and hired a data editor. I'm very happy to say that this is going really well. Hong Ru is the data editor. I think most of you who have papers even accepted under the previous regime have opted into the data and code sharing policy as far as it is possible for people to share their data. And in fact, we have seen marked improvements in the quality and clarity of the code. So, hopefully that has a positive externality for our field in general. I also want to tell you that, the webinars for the Brattle and DFA prizes that we instituted last year started this summer. They were very well attended, and hopefully, anyone who is interested can still go onto the website of the AFA and see those webinars now. All right, with this, let me give you a quick update on the state of the JF over the last year. One thing that happened, and you probably also remember, is that last year the AFA increased the submission fees to the JF, and price theory works. What we have seen is actually a slight decline in the submissions to the JF. At the moment, I'm not at all concerned about it, because what we have seen is, maybe price theory indeed works very well, that there is self-selection in the submission. So what has happened is that my desk rejection rate has gone down a lot, because the marginal papers seem to not be getting more likely to be papers that would not have made it into the JF in the first place. I have to say that the quality of the submissions that we are getting is very strong. How do I know this? The reason that I know this is, I will show you in a second, is basically that our R&R rate, if anything, has gone up. The one thing I want to say is that because the submission rate has gone down, and because of a lot of the submissions that we would have otherwise had were more likely to be desk rejections, our median turnaround time has gone up a little bit, so from 40 to 47 days. But a lot of it is because, the rate of desk rejections has gone down. But I'm, monitoring carefully that our turnaround times are not slipping. All right. As I said, the statistics in terms of desk rejection, as you can see, have gone down slightly from the year before. So they used to be at 43%. Under this new policy, with the new submission rate, they are now 38%. But the one thing I want to show you, as you can see, conditional on not being desk rejected. So this is the darkish blue line in the middle on the right-hand side that I'm calling here, NDR. Our R&R rate, conditional on not being desk rejected, has now gone up to 17%. And in a way, that is something that I'm actually quite proud of, because I think this is exactly good for the profession, that we are able to screen papers quickly and efficiently, so that anyone who doesn't publish in the JF has a chance to then go to another journal. All right. As our number of rounds before acceptance has stayed, relatively stable. So you see on the right-hand side that accepted after 2 revisions is still, kind of roughly around 80%. All right. Finally, let me give you an update on the impact factor. Our 2-year impact factor improved, relatively improved. So we are now, this is the darkish bar in the middle, during the COVID pandemic, our impact factor dropped closer to that of the RFS and the JPE, but we are now again, solidly ahead of the JPE and RFS, and the only journals that are ahead of the JF in terms of impact factor is the QJE, the AR, and the JFE. And obviously, those are always things that we are monitoring carefully. All right. I'll have a number of statistics also on the number of total submissions. Again, here we are in third place, and the number of 5-year impact factor. You know, kind of the JFE is in fourth place, if you want, behind the QJE, the AAR, and the JFE. All right, let me skip this one. And let me finish this part of my update by thanking and giving a big thank you to my co-editors, to our associate editors who are doing a fantastic job, our data editor, Hongru, and actually all of you and the profession for being such conscientious and thoughtful referees. All right, with this, let me turn to the more exciting part of my part of this presentation, and I would like to ask my co-editor, Urban German, to come up to actually hand out the prizes. So we're turning to the best paper prizes. I just want to remind you the process of the best paper award selection is that the AEs vote on the best papers. They can self-select whether they want to vote or not vote, right? But they vote on both prizes. Based on the voting of the AEs, from the December 2023 to October 2024 issues of the JF, the editors then make the final selection among those highest ranked papers. I mean, meaning if there are ties, we'll decide how to break the ties, etc. With this, let me first start with the Brettel Prize, and I also would, kind of ask the representative from Brettel to please come up. As always, let me start in inverse order. So the Brettel Group prizes for 2024, the runner-up, or the first distinguished paper prize is Artificial Intelligence, Education and Entrepreneurship by Michael Goffman and Zhao Jin. And I would love for Zhao to come up and receive the prize. So you are receiving a plaque, and excellent. And there are some envelopes about how to get money. It's not the money itself. So especially in this environment, I think it's good. I mean, the people outside of this building make me sometimes a bit scared. Okay, so the second runner-up prize, distinguished prize, is Lender Automation, Racial Disparities in Credit Access by Sabrina Howell, Teresa Kuhler, David Snitkov, Johannes Strobel, and June Wong. I know that none of the winners are here, so maybe we put that plaque aside, but we should clap for the winners of this book. All right, and so without further ado, let me announce the first prize winner of the Brettel Group Prize for 2024. I'm pleased to announce that this is Trading and Shareholder Democracy by Doron Levit, Nadia Malenko, and Ernst Mark. Congratulations. I think, we have the winners in the room, so. Maybe if you all stand together for 1 second facing the camera, then we have a still photo of everyone. So far. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Congratulations again. With this, I now want to move to the DFA prize, and I would like to ask Jacopo to come up to represent DFA. So for 2024 DFA prize distinguished paper, the first one is Counter-Cyclical Income Risk and Portfolio Choices, Evidence from Sweden by Sylvain Catherine, Paolo Sodini, and Yapai Zhang. I think we have two of the authors in the audience. Congratulations. Yes, one still photo. Thank you very much. Wonderful. The second distinguished paper prize for this year is Business News and Business Cycles by Leland Bybee, Brian Kelly, Asaf Manella, and Dashang Zhu. I think maybe Leland is in the audience. Awesome. Great. Congratulations again. And finally, the prize winner of the DFA prize for 2024 is the first prize paper is Selling Fast and Buying Slow, Heuristics and Trading Performance of Institutional Investors, Klarkov Akempentiravon, Rick DiMasio, Alex Imas, and Larry Schmidt. Congratulations. All right. Congratulations again. So, this concludes my part of the presentation. Oops, let me say again, thank you so much to DFA and Brattle Group for their support. Congratulations to all the winners. And thank you again to all of you for being such conscientious and hardworking referees and for engaging in our profession at such a high level of conscientiousness and quality. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Markus Brunnermeier, the past president, and I'm very glad and happy that I can make 3 announcements today. The first one is about the new journal, Journal of Financial Insights and Perspectives. And, you know, it has 2 components, the insights, short papers, and also perspectives, forward-looking components to it. I can report that the negotiations with Wiley came to an end, and we have a positive conclusion, and the journal is starting. So we'll open up the portal in the next few months. And hopefully, we will publish the first issues in 2026. So everything will move fairly fast. So get your papers ready. The papers should be short. There's a word limit to it, and it's an in and out decision. So no response letters, 200 pages to 3 referees and things like that. It's an in-out decision. And an editorial committee was set up to select the team, the editorial team. And I'm very happy to announce that the main editor will be Eberly from Northwestern, and supported by 3 co-editors, by Arvind Krishnamurthy from Stanford, David Thesmar, MIT, and Valentin Haddad from UCLA. And I'm very grateful for them to take on this task. It's a challenging task, but we want to have a first-rate journal at the top with short papers, and that's our aim and ambition, and I think with this team we can do it. Thanks again. I'll give a round of applause for the editorial team. The second announcement concerns the Fischer Black Prize, which is granted since 2003 every 2 years. It comes with $50,000. And it's set up in memory of Fischer Black, who is a giant in our field, and it's typically given to giants in our field, so people who have made major contributions at young age, under 40. Roughly, there are some exceptions if you do your PhD very late in life. So the committee was set up and came up with a list of around 20 names, and then we shrunk it down to one winner. And I'm happy to announce that the prize winner this year was working in the areas of intermediary asset pricing and macrofinance. And he essentially shifted the field to a broader set of beyond consumption asset pricing, also to include intermediary components and other components, focusing the net worth component of intermediaries. And this year's winner is Tyler Muir from UCLA. Congratulations. So Tyler, please come up and you can give a few words before I give you them.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much to the AFA and to the nominating committee. It feels a little bit weird to win an individual award when I kind of haven't done anything individually. Everything I've done is kind of a collaboration with colleagues and co-authors and even discussants and referees. Well, most referees maybe. So I want to take a minute and thank especially all my colleagues at UCLA, my colleagues at Yale before that, and at Northwestern as well, where I did my PhD. There's a few people, I want to keep this brief, but there's a few people I really want to thank. Arvind, Krishnamurthy, and Andrea Eisfeld, who were advisors, co-authors, mentors, and have given me a tremendous amount of their time and support over the past 15 years now. Thank you. And all of my co-authors, but especially two that I want to mention that I've been very, very lucky to work with extensively, Alan Moreira and Valentin Haddad. Alan and I were assistant professors at Yale together, and I basically spent more time in his office than my own. So sorry for bugging you so much, Alan, but thank you for that. I bug Val now instead. I remember having the offer to come to UCLA. Val had the offer at the same time and being like incredibly excited finding out that he was going. If you've been around him, you kind of know what the externalities there are. So thank you to especially both of you. A quick thank you as well to my family for a lot of support and encouragement over the years as well. So thank you all so much. Thank you to the AFA. Thank you. Okay.
And of course, the prize comes not only with money, it comes with a big, heavy thing, which is secret inside. That's for you to carry home.
Oh, it is heavy.
Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we need some? Okay. Now we're moving on to the third announcement. The third announcement is about the fellows of the American Finance Association. This is about the giants in our field, and it consists of voted fellows and also of past presidents of the American Finance Association. Again, a nomination committee was set up to nominate potential candidates, and these potential candidates, about 5 of them, I forgot the exact number, were put up for vote among the existing fellows. And the existing fellows voted for one new fellow. Every year, one new fellow can be admitted. And the new fellow voted, made major contributions, and is a thought leader in the area of finance, and within finance, in particular in venture capitalism and entrepreneurship. And he teaches at the University of Chicago, and his name is Stephen Kaplan. And we're very proud to have him as a fellow. Unfortunately, Stephen could not be with us right now, so he is here virtually. And what I will do is I will try to switch on a video, but ask for a little patience just to make sure.
Hello, good evening to you all. Thanks very much for this wonderful honor of becoming an AFA Fellow. Without a doubt, it is the highlight of my academic career. I'd like to thank two people who've had a huge impact on me. First, my thesis advisor and mentor, the late Mike Jensen. Mike always encouraged my work, and he was amazingly generous with his time to a young PhD student. I was always amazed by the detailed comments and suggestions he gave me on many drafts of my dissertation. Second, my colleague Rob Vishney, who has given me remarkably sage feedback and advice ever since I came to Chicago Booth. I am very sad and disappointed I can't be with you. I almost always attend the meetings and look forward to them every year, seeing my friends and colleagues. This year, I couldn't attend because of some long-standing commitments. Needless to say, I didn't expect to be elected, or I would have made different plans. So thank you very much again. I hope you enjoy San Francisco, and I look forward to seeing you all next year. Thanks again.
So thanks a lot for all of you, and this concludes my part. I pass on the mic to Ulrike.